All right, boys and girls, today we're going to be talking about finding the main idea of a text. And we're going to be doing that with a familiar text that we've read called Saving Snow Leopards. All right, so let's take a look at our PowerPoint for this week. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the topic of the text. And I noticed that a lot of you guys are having trouble with really determining the difference between the topic of a text and the main idea of the text. And we're going to be talking about what is the topic versus what is the main idea, and how do I create the main idea using a topic and using details from the text when I'm reading my text. So remember, a topic is just one or two words that states the general subject of the text. So for example, if I was reading about sharks and reading an article about sharks, the general subject or topic of that article would be sharks. It's only one or two words. Now, what is the difference between the main idea? So what is the main idea? So the main idea is a sentence that tells the most important thoughts about the topic. So if I was reading an article about sharks, well, what in particular does the author want me to learn about sharks? What does she want me to take away from this article about sharks? So in other words, you're just talking about what the story or text is mostly about. And this is always supported by details in the text. So what are those supporting details? So supporting details are sentences that tell more about, describe, or explain the main idea. So I have my main idea, just like my ice cream cone, and then I have details that support that main idea in the text. So the way that we can really figure out what the main idea is by using the main idea equation. So what you're going to do is take the topic, and then you're going to say what I learned about that topic, and that is going to be your main idea. For example, if I was reading an article about sharks, my topic would be sharks. My main idea of what the author wants me to learn, what the text is mostly about, might be that sharks have a lot of teeth. And a supporting detail that would support my main idea would be a shark may have up to 300 teeth at one time. So I'm going to take my topic, and then I'm going to take what I learned about my topic, and that's going to create the main idea. You're always going to have your topic in your main idea. All right, so what are some ways that I can find the main idea? So a couple of things, we did this in class last year, this year, and last year also, is we're gonna, one, look at the titles and headings, because that's really gonna tell me what the topic is. When I look at the title or heading, I can pretty much figure out what that topic is going to be about. Then I'm going to look at pictures and other text features, because a lot of times they give us some very useful information in the pictures and in those text features. And we're going to look for words that are used repeatedly. So what words do you see repeating over and over again? And then sometimes the main idea is actually stated in the first or last sentence of the text, or it is stated somewhere in that first paragraph. Sometimes it might be in the first paragraph in the first sentence, or in the last sentence of that first paragraph. So we're going to take a look at that to see what we can learn from that and see if the author actually does give me that main idea. But the author doesn't always give me the main idea. Sometimes I have to infer it. All right, so let's look at saving snow leopards, and let's look at our topic. So the first thing I need to figure out is what is the topic of the text. So I'm going to look at the title and headings, and then I'm going to think about what do you think you will learn about? So I'm going to think about my background knowledge. I'm going to think about, well, based on this topic, what am I going to learn? And then I'm going to look at the pictures and text features. I'm going to think about, what did I learn from the text features and from the titles and headings of the text? And that's going to give me an idea of what the author is going to be talking about, so that I can find that topic of the text. So let's take a look at saving snow leopards. So saving snow leopards, the topics. So I'm going to think about, what is the topic? Saving snow leopards. So my headings are mountain ghost, protecting the head, a close encounter. So that's really making me think, I know this is about snow leopards, so maybe there's mountain ghost. Maybe there's a snow leopard that lives in the mountains, protecting the head. So maybe we need to start protecting the snow leopards, a close encounter. So that might be where maybe humans aren't able to have those close encounters with the snow leopards. And maybe why. I wonder why they can't have those close encounters. Maybe they're endangered, or something is happening to the snow leopards. All right, and then let's look at our text feature. So we have a table here for a text feature. So some of the new things that I've noticed is illegal hunting. So that means that people are hunting the snow leopards and they shouldn't be hunting the snow leopards. So this again makes me think something is maybe happening. Maybe the snow leopards are getting endangered because of this. Their loss of habitat. So that kind of goes with the thing of maybe they're becoming endangered because they're losing their habitat. Loss of prey. So they're not able to get the food that they usually do. Killed by herders. Lack of effective protection and lack of awareness and support. So this is really making me think about maybe the snow leopards are endangered based on the information that I'm receiving from the headings and from this text feature, which is our table. So now I'm going to really break it down. So let's think about what the topic is. So things that we've noticed in the title is saving. Maybe we should start saving these snow leopards. Headings, I really noticed the word protecting. Text feature, threats to a snow leopard. So the snow leopards are having some threats. So now I'm going to think about what can I infer from the title, headings, and text features. So based on the title, headings, and text features, I think the topic is saving endangered snow leopards. So that's going to be my topic. And I'm going to use that topic to help me create the main idea of the text. So next we're going to be thinking about what is the main idea of the text and how can I figure that out? One, I'm going to look for those repeating words. We know how important those repeating words are. Next, I'm going to pay attention to the first and last sentence. Think about what the text is mostly about. And then I'm going to really look at my main idea equation, which is my topic plus what I learned about the topic, and that's going to equal my main idea. So I already know that my topic is going to be saving endangered snow leopards. So what would be my main idea? What do I learn from the text about this topic that will then help me figure out my main idea? So let's go to the article and we're going to read through it and then we're going to go back and look at the highlights and kind of see, look at those repeating words, look at the first and last sentence, and we're going to really dive deep into the actual text. So mountain ghost. The snow leopard is rarely seen by humans. This mysterious cat lives in 12 Asian countries among the world's tallest mountains. The snow leopard is smaller than the tiger, the lion, and the leopard of Africa and Asia. It weighs as much as a cheetah, but is shorter and stockier. The cat's compact shape and thick fur help keep it warm in glacier-chilled air. Dark markings dapple its light gray coat, camouflaging it in a rocky terrain. Big paws make padding over snow easier. An extra long tail provides balance on steep, rugged ground. You might think the snow leopard would be safe living in such harsh, remote places, but it faces multiple threats from the humans. The cat has lost important stretches of habitat. A habitat is the place that fills an animal's needs, mainly food, shelter, and mates. Mining, wars, and overgrazing by farm animals have all led to the loss of habitat. So when I was reading that paragraph, some things that I noticed that were repeating was about the habitat. So I'm just going to keep that in my brain and see if it talks even more about that in the other paragraphs. Those are those repeating words that we're looking at. Protecting the head. The loss of habitat has caused a food shortage. So here we're again talking about the habitat. So I really need to keep those repeating words in mind. Snow leopards eat wild goats and sheep. When farm animals eat too much vegetation, wild plant eaters can't find enough food to stay healthy. Females don't have enough babies. Over time, the number of goats and sheep go down, and snow leopards have less to eat. Then the big cats eat livestock, and the herders kill the leopards to protect their livelihoods. So here it's talking about the loss of habitat, and we also notice that, and we saw this in the table as well, that herders are killing leopards to protect their livelihoods, which is their livestock. So I'm going to look for that because I remember noticing that in the table. Agencies are working to save the cats and help herders at the same time. Some agencies give herders wire mesh and wood to keep snow leopards from entering their stables at night. Some pay herders for the animals they lose to snow leopards. In exchange, the herders stop killing snow leopards. So here again, we're seeing that repeating about herders killing snow leopards, and now they're going to start stop killing those snow leopards. and leave more plants for the wild goats and sheep. Are the conservation program working? Researchers estimate that only 3,500 to 7,500 snow leopards are alive today. But they need more reliable ways to count the leopards before they will know. That's where scientists like Dr. Kyle McCarthy are needed. He traveled to Kyrgyzstan to test ways of estimating snow leopard numbers. He camped in the mountains with Dr. Jennifer McCarthy, his wife, and other coworkers. They saw no leopards, but they hadn't expected to. Instead, they looked for evidence the cats left behind. You have to find something related to them: poops, scrapes, claw marks, and pee, Dr. Kyle McCarthy says. The group collected scat, which is poop, for DNA analysis. Along with the waste material of digestion, scat contains cells from the animal's own body. DNA is material inside those cells that, like fingerprints, can identify an individual animal. The team also used automatic cameras. The scientists placed motion and heat-sensitive cameras along a mountain ridge. When a snow leopard near one of these camera traps, the camera snapped its picture. Each snow leopard spot pattern is different. Researchers compared patterns in the photos to identify cats. The camera had taken photos of 15 different snow leopards at 2 study sites. A close encounter. Shannon Cashel, Dr. Kyle McCarthy's graduate assistant, has searched for snow leopards in Tahikton, where he almost saw one. I was hiking along a ridgeline in the late afternoon and came around the corner of a rock outcropping to find a stewing fresh kill site with the snow leopard signs all around. Cashel says, I could see and hear where the cat had knocked some rocks loose as it ran away from me. But even though I waited until it was nearly dark, I never saw the cat. Most people will never see a snow leopard yet. It has a right to exist, Dr. Kyle McCarthy says. It's too magnificent to think about losing. All right, so let's look at some of the things that we've noticed. Let's look at our text feature and look at some of the things we've noticed. So let's look at our threats to a snow leopard table. So illegal hunting. Snow leopards are hunted for their fur and bones. So we kind of talked a little bit about that in the text as well. Loss of habitat. People and livestock move into snow leopard range. Loss of prey. Fewer prey are available to snow leopards when wild sheep and goats are hunted. Livestock compete with the wild sheep and goats for food, and the number of wild animals is reduced. Killed by hunters. Sheep and goat herders killed the leopards when the leopards eat livestock. Lack of effective protection. The areas in which the snow leopard live are too large to protect. Many countries can afford to pay for protection. Lack of awareness and support. Herders do not understand the importance of snow leopards to the ecosystem. So if you notice, there's a couple of similar things that we're noticing in the text, and you're going to see the highlights I highlighted in the same color. So now we're going to break that apart into and look at what we're really noticing. So what did you learn about saving endangered snow leopards? So you have your topic. Now, when I'm creating my main idea, I really need to think about my topic so that I can know what I learned about that to create my topic. So repeating words. Some things that we've noticed in the repeating words is loss of habitat. That was repeating in the table. That was repeating in the text. Snow leopards are being killed by herders. So that was talking about in the text, and it was also talking about it in the table. And snow leopards are rarely seen. So they talked about that several times in the text as well. Next, we're going to look at the first and last sentence. The snow leopard is rarely seen by humans. So again, that's one of our repeating things that we're noticing. Most people will never see a snow leopard, yet it has a right to exist. Dr. Kyle McCarthy says, it is too magnificent to think about losing. All right, now let's look at our main idea equation. So we know our topic is saving endangered snow leopards. Now, what did I learn from that topic? When I'm reading the text, what do I notice? So what I learned, the snow leopards are losing their habitat, which caused a food shortage for the snow leopard. The snow leopards started to eat livestock. The herders then kill the snow leopards to protect their livestock. So based on the repeating words, the first and last sentence, and my main idea equation, I think the main idea is endangered snow leopards' loss of habitat is affecting their safety. And when we're talking about their safety, we're talking about how they're being killed by the herders because of their loss of habitat. So that is our main idea. So we take our topic plus what we learned about the topic to create our main idea. So let's review a couple of things that we've learned so far in our lesson today. The topic is just a general subject of the text. The main idea is what the text is mostly about. Our supporting details tell me more about, describe, or explain the main idea. And how do we figure out our main idea? We use that main idea equation. So we have our topic plus what I learned about the topic, and that's going to equal my main idea. To help find the main idea, I need to look at the titles, headings, pictures, text features, those repeating words. Authors always repeat things over and over again. We want to pay attention to that. And the first and last sentence of the text. So that is our main idea lesson for the day. Please make sure you are going to your activity, and if you need to rewatch the video, rewatch it, and make sure you are looking out for feedback on all of your assignments and going back and correcting your assignments if you need to. All right, thank you.